The thing we start with at the beginning of the book is this thing called truth bias. And truth bias is the assumption that what people are telling us or what we're seeing is true.
It's true.
As opposed to false or a lie, or a deliberate lie or something like that.
Right.
And, you might think that that's kind of a maladaptive or a bad way to design the brain. But in fact, it's necessary because if you had to check on every bit of information that came in before you could do anything with it, you'd be spending too much of your time doing that and you would never get anything done. And second of all, as it turns out, most people are telling us the truth most of the time.
Right.
Or at least they're saying something they believe in. They're not trying to deceive you, maybe is another way to put it. So it's a reasonable way for the brain to work. And, most of the time when our opponents are playing moves, they're not trying to trick us, on the chessboard. And it's a very reasonable thing to have. However, it does create an opportunity for liars, cheaters, scammers, and so on to exploit the fact that we will initially at least accept what they're saying.
That actually reminds me of the chess mistake type that I sometimes witness in my students. They overtrust their stronger opponents, right? Like the stronger opponents make a mistake, but they simply believe in them because they're much stronger, right? So they don't punish their mistakes. That just happened to me last week in a group lesson. I made the biggest blunder in my entire coaching career, right? I sort of set them a quiz in a way that like they are winning a pawn, they're completely crushing, but I saw something completely different. I blundered myself and I was quizzing them and they believed me, instead of like punishing the opponent, like they just don't go for the most obvious thing on the board because they trust me too much, It's like, oh my God.